FM, the station where you get God and sports. We broadcast on the 89 frequencies on your FM band and online at omegaklas.com. Please continue to be blessed and enlightened. Gospel and sports sensible. Blessings. Have you been blessed by the Real Talk Show with Bishop Manning? Well, you can listen to the Real Talk Show Mondays to Fridays, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. on the Omega Radio app. Just go to your app store and look for Omega Radio, or listen live on the Omega Church Broadcasting Network website. That's www.omegachurchradio.com. You can also watch on Facebook at Omega Church. On YouTube, you can watch the live church service at Omega Church or Omega Radio. You can also call us at 876-319-1148 or 876-613-9129. The toll-free number is 877-494-0253. That was a paid advertisement by Omega Radio.
Good morning, Jamaica. Good morning to the world. You're listening to Spoton with Vernon Derby. It is April 16, 2024. We're coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica, right here in the middle of the Caribbean. See what we say? Jamaica, we're little, but we tell our. This is the People's University, the People's Program, and also the People's Parliament. Stay with us for your spiritual, social, and intellectual needs. Stay with us because we support what is best for you. It's the People Show where I listen to your concerns and I will leave no stone unturned until your issues are addressed. This is the place to find the experts to help you. This is a place for exciting discussions. This is a place to make sure that your voice is heard. This is a place to be spot on. Remember, if there are issues in your town, your city, or your district, then let me know. The number to call is 876-968-8117. That is 876-968-8117. And for those overseas, you can call this toll-free number, which is 877-4940253. And of course, this hour is sponsored by Spectrum Insurance Brokers, setting the industry standard. And a Fosrich group of companies located at 77 to 79 Malines Road. Okay, so this morning, let's see what's coming up. Yes, of course, we start off with music. Then we have Your Health, Your Wealth with the People's Doctor, Dr. Leland Johnson from the cool hills of Mandeville. And then we have Consumer Talk, yes, with Mr. Trevor Summers. You cannot afford to miss that. And of course, we close that off with your birthdays, anniversaries, special events, and so on. So we're ready to roll now to get to some great music to get you going on a Tuesday morning right here from Kingston, Jamaica. Wake up, Jamaica! Wake up, Caribbean! Wake up, North and South America! Oh yeah! God pick me still a prosper. God pick me still a prosper. No matter how them work them up, yeah. God pick me still a prosper. God pick me still a prosper. Who God bless and no man curse. One get your blessing if you put God first. Who God bless and say no man curse. One get your blessing if you put God first. No matter how them sprinkle them powder. God coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. The team is here with you. Yes, man, call Mr. Hyde, Pastor Boyd, and this is your friend, Vernon Darby.
The only friend I know was poverty. But me see God and him turn it around. Oh, me see them a vex up and me see them a frown. But
Let's remember the people in Litchfield, that's in Trelawney. They've lost a loved one. And to all the people in St. Anne also.
no matter how them work them up, yeah. God pick the still a prosper. God pick the still a prosper. Tell them Jabez. I me say, oh God bless. I me say, no man curse. Want get your blessing, you say put God first. Oh God bless. I me say, no man curse. Want get your blessing, you say put God first. No matter how them sprinkle them powder. God pick the still a prosper.
God pick the still a prosper. Oh yeah, what a beautiful Tuesday morning. Yeah, no matter where you are, so guess what? How bad man and coffee just waste the energy trying to tear down somebody else. What we need right across the world is more love. That's why we're killing off one another. And talking about killing, we have to think about that police officer who was killed in St. Anne. And I must tell you that that's our Constable Ricardo Fairclough. He is from Litchfield, which is in Trelawney, just about probably less than half mile from where I live. So to all the members of the police force, I'm going to encourage you all to be strong. But the police sent out something here, and I will tell them, I would love them to change it to, that's a federation. It says, where did I put that in? No, I don't think I did, you know. But, oh yes, let me just read that part. It says the Police Federation sent a message stating force members are numb with pain at their colleagues' demise. I will tell you, officers, when you want to make those comments, keep them to yourself. Those criminals, they're not well, you know, they're sick. And they love to see you go out there, see you're sad and you're numb. And no. Let them know that when they take down a member of the police force, the good Lord help you, because the whole force will be looking for you. Every criminal should know that you do not take down a police officer. That's one of the first things we need to have in Jamaica if we're going to deal with crime. So we know we do not. A criminal must know and tell his colleagues, listen boss, let's say a policeman, be careful, because you know that you'll be targeted and that you'll eventually pay for your deeds. So I'm making a special appeal to all the police officers that please don't come out and say you're depressed, you're down and you're numb. No. Time the police officers stand up strong and say, we are not going to let you push us down. No. We are trained, we are equipped, and you better watch yourself, because sometimes I get the impression that these criminals feel that they're better than everything than everybody else. I was looking at a video about a gentleman who was talking about a gang which targeted him. He was selling coconut. Can you imagine? A little man sell coconut on the road and they target the man. Forget money from him. And he stood up and they tackled him one day and he had to defend himself. That's what the story says. He defended himself quite well. And I must say he wasn't too kind to the gentleman who attacked him. And they had gone. And what happened? The story says that it ended up that the gentleman had to spend over a year in prison. Because the judge didn't believe his story. Well, you know what happened after that? Is that the men went back. And by this time, his girlfriend and two other persons had taken over the selling of coconut. And they killed them. So the state and those who are in charge, judiciary, we have to be very careful. We're working in an environment which is very, very dangerous. And we must, although criminals have rights, but we have to be careful. But when a criminal does something and the citizen has to defend themselves, that it be treated differently. Because when you're attacked by a gunman with a gun, then you become irrational. As a matter of fact, you become probably temporarily insane. And I can't tell judges what to do, but sometimes you get the feeling that these criminals feel they have a lot of power. You have Indicom, and nothing is wrong with Indicom, but there's a feeling that because it's Indicom, the police officers will be scared to protect themselves and probably do what they need to do. And so you don't have to worry. I mean, I've seen videos with persons threatening police officers and talking about, you can't do me nothing. So something needs to happen to change the tone of the country and change the tone of those who believe that they can take on the police, and not only to take on the police, but to get away with it. So today, although we mourn the death of Constable Ricardo Fairclough, who was shot and killed in St. Anne last night, and thanks to those who brought information to immediately, we want to send a very clear message, and police officers and everybody must send a very clear message to the criminals that, listen, you don't frighten me. And there are some things that we need to probably start to teach in school, is teach the children how to cope whenever there is a crisis, whenever a gunfire, for example, what the gunmen do whenever they go to an area to carry out their evil deeds. They just fire pure shot, and then people just panic and up and down the place. Some of you must just stay a secure place and look what go on. That's the whole idea. When you hear a gunshot, neither run to it, yes, somehow not run to it. But don't panic and run, because when you panic and run, you put yourself in danger, because when you run, you become a target. But if you stay put, like one gentleman who I saw, he pretended as if he was dead, and the gang walked past him about two, three, 4 times, and nobody to check him, and he was the man they were looking for. Yes, I saw that video too. No, that is interesting. So it's better you stay put, see what's happening. All right. So I know today is a sad day for the police officers, but guess what? Don't make those criminals believe that they can do what they do and get away with it. The case with former chairman of the Police Federation, Rohan James, what is happening to that? It's taking too long, man. Taking too long. And we have to understand, that if it is felt that justice is not delivered in a timely way, then people will sometimes feel they can take things into their own hands. And that's something that we need to change in Jamaica, because sometimes people feel they have to get money to get justice. Because we don't have justice, you're going to have a problem with having peace. And let me tell you something, before you go start the war, go talk to somebody, no man. Go talk to somebody. I'm talking on joker who can't help you. Talk to a responsible person. Justice of the peace. They have organizations now. If you go there and talk to them, they can call in the other party and have a meeting with them. There's no need to get into the war. There's no need to. This person is concerned about the system. He said it's time to modernize the Jamaica's government system. It's pretty long, but just try read it as quickly. It says, the archaic colonial mindset entrenched within the government institutions must be eradicated without delay. While the National Housing Trust and the National Health Fund have shown signs of progress, the rest lag behind in a tangle of outdated practices that breed nothing but public frustration and perpetuate corruption. The blatant gatekeeping and brazen corruption have become ingrained in our society, tarnishing our national identity. Attempting to get around these bureaucratic mazes with patience have proven futile. The judiciary, particularly the Supreme Court, remains shackled by antiquated customs, such as the absurd donning of wigs and archaic titles like Milord. The sheer absurdity of being turned away for wearing sleeveless attire while conducting a routine transaction at the civil court exemplifies the absurdity of our outdated system. It says, consider the national insurance scheme, where seniors are forced to jump through hoops just to prove they are alive. The convoluted process of obtaining a mere stamp as a receipt amid system failures and archaic practices highlights the bureaucratic nightmare faced by citizens. Of course, she sent me a copy of an envelope which apparently was used as a receipt. And it goes there, more information to mention, for example, the tax department. But I did get a response, I think, from the tax department. But tomorrow, I probably look more. Let me just read it. It says, moreover, the transition to digital payments has been marred by complexity and inefficiency, with institutions like the NCB and the tax office compounding the frustration. The elderly, already burdened by bureaucratic hurdles, are left to navigate a sea of paperwork and procedures that fail to accommodate their needs. It's high time Jamaica wakes up to the realities of the 21st century. We cannot claim to be wanting to become a republic while clinging to colonial relics. The elderly, the backbone of our society, deserve better. We must overhaul our systems to ensure inclusivity, efficiency, and respect for all citizens. Failure to do so will only leave us further behind in the march of progress. Gonna go for the break right now. You're listening to Spot On with Vernon Darby. Soon come back. Don't move.
Create a classic stone look to top off your mahogany and espresso cupboard. The eye-catching appeal of granite, marble, dolomite, and the traditional quartz embodies your creativity for perfection. Sturdy, impervious to scratches and bacteria, with low maintenance and requires no sealing. Select from a wide variety of stones at 10 to 12 Cleardale Avenue, 2 roads below Amara Road. Garrett Trading and Installation. Call 876-634-9773 Design your style.
Your taxes hold the
Property owners, let's get digital. Property taxes for 2024-25 are due April 1. Payments can be made by April 30 in full, half-yearly or quarterly installments. Pay using these options online at jamaicatax.gov.jm, the TAJ mobile app, the mobile tax collection unit, NCB online banking, and Scotia online and mobile app. Call 888 Tax Help. That's 888-429-4357, or visit jamaicatax.gov.jm for details.
Give a little, a lick something. US $1 JD 150 every time you receive a remittance from Lasco Money Transfer to sponsor a social project selected by the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange. Say, I want to donate $1 to the cashier. Donations accepted at these locations: 38.5 Red Hills Road, Kingston 10, 15 Chandler's Place, Poppin Square, Kingston 10, and Shop 203 Bay West Shopping Center, 3 St. James Street, Montego Bay.
Welcome back. You are listening to Spot On with Vernon Darby, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. Yes, Jamaica in the middle of the Caribbean. See what we say? We little, but we tallow. Coming up right now is Your Health, Your Wealth. Doc! How is Doc?
Hey.
Where's Doc? Hey, Doc, you're the voice so strong this morning. How you doing?
Very much so. You sound more like Vernon.
I'm looking probably because two things are born on town and all from the River City dump. It's affecting my allergies and everybody really complain. Yeah, man.
Oh, sure. But you sound much better than in weeks past.
Yes.
You know, I knew it was you because you're the only one hosting the program by that name. So
Yeah.
you can also recognize it by voice.
Yes.
Yes.
How's it going, my brother, in the cool hills of Mandeville?
Yes, Vernon. Well, unfortunately, it's not so cool. You know, we are experiencing some real elevated temperature reading, especially during the daytime. The night
Really?
time to be cool, yes, in the 80s, in the mid-80s. For us, that is quite warm. I mean, I remember when I just moved to Mandeville, the day would be hot, but not this hot. I mean, I wasn't
Yes.
really keeping a record, you know, but, you know, just by subjective notification, observation, I mean, there's a difference. And I mean, when I question other folks, you know, the vast majority admit that there is a noticeable change, especially when it comes to the heating of the
And of course, it
the
affects
daytime.
our health.
Exactly.
Oh, by the way, you haven't had any problems with bushfires in that area? I hope not, because it's not critical.
No, thank God. Well, not to my knowledge. I've
Right.
not heard of any case. Or if there is, I guess it's in the minority and it has not reached my ear as yet. You know. Yes, Vernon. I hope that you had a peaceful weekend and
Yes, I
you know,
do.
as we enter this work week, I mean, we're just hoping for the best, you know.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Vernon. You know, this is I'm presenting something a little out of the norm, in that it's something. It's a phenomenon that is coming on, and it's catching on to Jamaica. Have you ever heard of e-smoking or
Yes.
e-cigarettes?
No, sir, if I think I'll be into she smoking, not e smoking.
It's what we call electronic smoking. And right
Where
now,
is this world going? Eh?
yes,
Where is the world going?
I'm telling you, and it has been the name has been modified now to vaping.
Oh, so in change of it. Oh, so take out the smoke out of it, so you rebrand it. I see.
Right, right. So it has e-cigarettes actually came into being by the early 2000s. I think it's around about 2003. It
Yes.
was actually invented or developed in China, and the purpose of this is an alternative to cigarette smoking.
So what's the difference? You have nicotine in it.
Right. One, both have nicotine, but the thing with this now is that it's a device. The e-cigarettes are what we call vaping now. It's an electronic device where there's water that is going to be atomized or vaporized,
I hear you.
and it contains a small amount or contains some amount of nicotine. However, it does not contain all of the other um, additives that the tobacco would normally carry.
Yes.
But it
Yes.
actually has a heating device, and it is also um, contains some liquid that contains a liquid they call glycerol, which is to help to um, mix all the elements in the fluid,
Oh, okay.
and there is some amount of trace metals, but it's in this minority, and it depends on the maker because each maker carries different amounts or different kinds of items,
Mm-hmm.
and some actually carry vitamin E acetate and THC, carbamidol, right? Basically,
Is it in Jamaica now? Is it available in Jamaica?
well, this is what I'm coming to now
Mm.
because this was, I mean, I've always heard of this um, as an internet sensation,
Right.
but it was about 2 Sundays ago where a member of a church actually brought it to my attention that the school that her daughter attends, um, there have been cases where the device has been brought to school and
What?
it's being used.
What? No, Doc might have it wrong. I mean, brought to school? Really?
Exactly. The thing is, it's easy to camouflage or easy
Yeah.
to hide because of the device. They come in a variety of shapes and sizes.
Mm-hmm.
Some actually look like USB ports. Some of them look
Oh,
like
I see.
pens. They look like whistles.
So I do. You smoke, you light it or it has a battery. How it works?
Right. There's a battery that actually helps to heat the fluid. And whenever you inhale it, it actually releases these fumes that actually resemble smoke fumes, cigarette fumes. And what makes it even more appealing is that they come in a variety of flavors. So you can, and it is not that expensive as well.
So what? This guy turn food now with flavors?
That is it, right? And so the thing is, Vernon, it was actually intended for persons who are chronic smokers or cigarette smokers to use this as an alternative so that they can be slowly weaned off the cigarette.
The cigarette. Okay.
Right. But the problem now is that even though it was intended for smokers, the young people, especially teenagers, are grabbing onto it because of how simple it looks and how cool it looks. And it seems as though anything that America does, we tend to follow suit. Because
The way they say that when America sneeze, we catch cold.
exactly. And the sad thing about it, Vernon, it is a phenomenon that actually is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
I hear you. I
Right.
could figure as much past money.
Exactly.
Money behind.
And as a result of that, you have a lot of players in the market, and it's not that regulated. So I guess it depends on how well you can market your
Yes,
your
yes.
device. Now, as I said, the aim is to remove the addiction of the cigarette smokers, But the problem now is that when a young person who is not a smoker starts smoking it or starts using it, it actually has an impact on that individual, right? For example, I'm just going to, for example, the lungs. In a healthy young person, the lungs are not fully developed, and we are not yet able to determine what long-lasting effect that this may have on that individual. And if it is that individual or that youngster is predisposed of developing asthma, it also can allow that asthma to be brought on at an earlier stage.
So understand that some can probably even set on the cancer you too. So it's like if you want dead.
Well, to be honest with you, the information where that is concerned is very conflicting. We are still not certain. But it is better to be on the side of caution.
Right.
Caution.
My opinion, the body is something natural. It's a come from me as a personal research. I'm no doctor. Therefore, I'm very reluctant to put artificial things unless it's probably life-saving. It's prescribed by a doctor, and even those they have side effects. You know, so why? You must take something outside. Can you imagine all that you smoke and all that going to your lungs? So what, me turn my body into a chimney?
Exactly.
And next thing you know, say, I fall along flat like the chimney at Cave Valley.
Exactly. No, the thing is, Vernon, is that even though, I'm not too certain in how the nicotine ratio is compared to cigarettes, but it does contain nicotine.
And nicotine is addictive.
It's very addictive.
Right.
So whenever you smoke it, the nicotine actually helps to release dopamine in your brain, and the dopamine is really a feel-good neurotransmitter that whenever you see it, you're actually automatically will be enlightened. You're going to want to have more nice feelings, so to speak.
Oh,
right?
So that's why you go now you sip your liquor
Right.
and smoke your cigarette and you feel good. And when your pocket broke now, every time you're drunk and go home now, your house is not a problem. You start to feel bad again, so you have to go feel good again.
You have to go and feel good again. So it's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
Right.
Vicious
Exactly.
cycle.
Exactly. So you can just imagine how it is that it is impacting an underdeveloped but developing young mind. Right? So it sets the stage for a possible cigarette smokers in the future. That is the danger of it. And this now can cause some amount of personality modification. There might be some amount of aggression or especially amongst teenagers.
Oh, so probably that answers some of the question, because sometimes people say, I wonder what them are young people, what them I eat, or something like the water. So some of the things that they're getting involved with probably affecting them mentally.
Exactly. So, it really pays attention. It really allows us or begs us more to be very concerned about not only the performance of our children at school, but to check the lunch bag, check the bags, check the drawers, check everything, just to make sure that there's no well, I wouldn't say it's a contraband, but these items are not within their possession. And the sad thing,
we have to go for the break now. I don't know if you know if it's legal in Jamaica. I'd love to know that. But when I was at picnic, I'm gonna go for the break. When I was at picnic, but I didn't have to worry because anything with the outer with the way, you know what happened? It was go have a switch. There was quite a few other things, but I guess in this modern day and age, what do you call it? Modern or modern, you can't do that again. All right, you're listening to Spoton. My very special guest is Dr. Leland Johnson. Soon come back to move.
We may be all over the world, but we're still in this together. Feel, make it easy for you get your money. So if you have to get a thing from your brother or mommy, hey, it's a not instant, it's a MoneyGram. Zoom, check your phone, your money land. VNBS money transfer, safer, faster, easier. Sign up for VNBS direct to bank account transfer today. No matter step out, fit in the line, straight in your account, money reach long time. VNBS money money transfer.
Tune in to German Morgan, aka Brother DJ Frisco, on your radio. Friday nights at 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. inside the Midnight Serenade Radio Show. And Saturdays and Sunday mornings inside the Kingdom Lifestyle Radio Show from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. You will be motivated, blessed, and receive a word in time with DJ Frisco in the mix. Tune in and stay connected.
Sheena Power Talk, make you start the walk.
Get your aunties, get your uncles, get your brothers and your sisters, gather the girls, gather the boys. Sheena Lynn Hansen is on your radio with Power Talk, motivation, inspiration, and empowerment. Tune in every Tuesday at 11:15 a.m. It's a Power Talk and a Power Connection. Power up your spirit, man, with Power Talk. This is your Damascus Road encounter. Come and experience a mighty move of God right here on Power Talk.
Sheena Power Talk.
Welcome back. You're listening to Spoton with the Vernon Derby coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica, in that beautiful country, the middle of the Caribbean, where we say we're little but we talent. Our very special guest is Dr. Leolyn Johnson. We talked about e-cigarettes, and I was telling him before I went off there for the break that in my time, my mother didn't have to talk to me. All I know is anyway, I touch anything that I'm not supposed to touch. I go over switch on the belt or something, so I go up with a bit of fear. I must still I never mind the fear, no understand why I don't do it. But them days I never know sense. I must be afraid of this strap. And it seemed to have worked.
Yes, Vernon.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, there we have modified our teeth or parenting skills over the years. So, you know, switch is not working anymore because I'm not too certain, but you know, I think you can prosecute your parents for the overkilling though. It's just that, you know, sometimes I think that probably some back in the days it was a bit of a overkill. You know, to be too hard, man. Jeez.
Not all the while. Why? No, you have abuse, but I will tell you something, and now going back down for me. I don't care what the psychiatrists want to say. Fear has a role to play in maintaining order. And let me tell you something. See, nature, if you run too fast, you'll go over the hill and hurt yourself. Nature has some very unforgiving punishment. Very. So I tell people, fear is very important. Whenever you have a society which neither fear God nor man, members and me tell you, say, that the society is going downhill to the sinkhole of failure.
That is a powerful thought, Vernon. That is so true. That is so true. And you know, and that is why right now what we want to do is to, you know, bring awareness to your listeners about this seemingly harmless item that is creeping slowly amongst our young people.
Yes.
Right? And what it is doing is setting up a stage of addictive behavior. Right? And, you know, it starts off with just a simple e-cigarette smoking, and then as time goes by, they will be dabbling in the physical cigarette itself. And then, you know, you can even mature over. Well, I wouldn't say mature over, but, you know, it definitely can lead over into other substances.
Yes, man, because let me tell you, and I just give from my experience. I found that, like when I used to perform, and you go on a bus, for example, the artists if they don't smoke them spliff, them can't perform at all.
Right.
And what happens now, it becomes a crutch. And the more you become insecure, the more the crutch is needed. So you probably start out with a cigarette, so you move to a ganja. You don't get to the drugs. And listeners, I'm speaking from here, so I've been there. And I've seen some top artists go to the dogs because of that.
Yes.
So anytime you see a child or anybody have to have a crutch to lean on to do something. if to lean on somebody, well, it's good to have somebody, but they have to be careful of who they're leaning on. And this
Right.
device, so if the same ganja there, boy, them tells a boy, I'm sorry, make me do so, he's don't come. Then it becomes a crutch now.
Right, right. Because there was a study that was done in the UK and in England,
Yes.
where in England there was an 11% spike in e-cigarette smoking
Yes.
among teenagers. Right, that was back in 2020, and in 2018 or yeah 2018 in the United States there was a 78% increase in the number of young adolescents actively being using e-cigarettes as well.
Yes.
And if it is that it's increasing over there, I'm sure it will reach our shores. I guess it has already reached our shores.
Right,
because
that's not probably, yes.
unrequired. Right, it's under. I guess it is underreported.
And I'm going to appeal to my listeners. The number is 876-968-8117. You can also contact me and let me know what's happening. I'd love to know what's happening over there. If you're aware that it's happening at a school, I know many of you like to protect schools. You're not protecting the schools. You're hiding it so it continues. And I'll talk about that prestigious schools and so on. If you're aware of students using e-cigarettes, please let us know. It has to be dealt with.
Exactly. Now, apart from the effect of having some amount of addictive value to it, there has been admissions in the United States, and the death rate, even though it is quite low, I mean, death rate is about 2.4%, very, very,
Yes.
very low, right? But what it does, though, is that it can cause symptoms of what we call pneumonia, where you have shortness of breath,
Oh, yes.
and so forth, and this nagging, hacking cough. Now, there was a study that was done whereby which the form of pneumonia that the e-cigarette or the vaping causes is totally different from what is normally as a result of the virus or bacterial cause of pneumonia. They realized that whenever they did what we call a lavage of bronchial alveolar lavage, where they ingest a little bit of normal saline or saltwater solution inside the very small cavities of the lungs, and then remove it or aspirate it, and they put it under a microscope to study which organism it was that actually was causing that localized inflammation of the lungs. They realized that it was neither a bacteria nor a lung, or it was neither a bacteria nor a virus.
So how do you treat that? If it's neither bacteria nor virus, how the hell do you treat that? Really?
To be honest with you, what they have done is to prophylactically put persons on antibiotics. Whether or not that was a solution, that's
When you say
what they had to
prophylactically, what do you mean?
to prevent a formation of an infection. They put
Okay.
them on it just to prevent
To prevent it
the
becoming
formation
yes,
of
yes,
bacterial infection, right? And for the vast majority of folks, it helps.
It helps,
But,
yes.
but they're still not certain if all of that was necessary. So it's still under investigation, still under study as to how it is that it's formed. But what they have realized, Vernon, is that when they did their analysis of the expectorant, they discovered that it contained some other elements, such as, remember we said that it contained vitamin E
E,
acetate.
right.
Right.
Nicotine, and there's another one you
Right.
mentioned too.
Right. But vitamin E was one of the substances that was found in it as well. And they're asking themselves what in heaven's name, because all of this is new information, this is new
Right.
discovery. So it seems as though this element is
So hold on. So we are taking up things that even the scientists are still trying to get more information.
still trying to
and
get.
putting out our bodies. No, sir.
Exactly.
No,
So what they're postulating is that the vitamin E, because vitamin E is really a substance that should actually enter your digestive tract.
Right.
It can be broken down. But in its raw form now, it may cause localized irritation, and cause the symptoms to be expressed. So they are still, while it is a substance that persons use for reducing the addiction of cigarettes, while our young people are picking it up, they are putting themselves not only for addiction, but for unknown sicknesses that can come up later on in life. All right. So, I mean, as I said, the aim here is just to bring an awareness that this activity is coming. Just as how not too long ago we heard about Mali and all these new
Oh, yes,
modified
Marley, yeah.
right. In as simple as this vaping may appear, you know, we still do not want anything to be left unchecked, right? So, you know, talk to your children, talk to your niece, talk to your relatives, talk to, you know, just talk to any young person, ask them what's going on in school, ask them if they've ever heard of vaping, ask them what their opinion of it is, you know, just to get them to talk to you. Ask them if they know of anybody who is actually involved in using this product, because that person will definitely need help because it can cause an addiction later on in life. Or
You know what
even
I'm
from
glad
that
for?
moment, it can cause an addiction, right?
The school I went to, can you imagine? Years now, you know, they used to, you have to do religion in grade, maybe Form 1 and Form 2. And after that, now the class will become, at the time guidance counseling wasn't, they didn't know about guidance counseling. But they would sit down and they would talk to you. And you know what they would do at that school? Why they really were ahead. I remember I had to write a paper on drugs and so on. I can't remember which one I wrote about, so I have to go and read and I had to present it at assembly. So what they did was they used us as students to go up there and speak to the students. And these are the things, though, I think what we're doing, we're pushing the chemistry, the physics, and the mathematics and so on. But these things that are affecting the youngsters will affect them in life. We're not talking about it. We just go there and talk with them. But this is was Schrober. But still on the stock. One on the stock.
You're right.
Talk about life, talk about sex, talk about anything that will affect the young person. I must tell you, if I did anything stupid, I can't say I didn't know.
Right. But that is it. You're setting the framework for open dialogue.
I know they did it. The room, it was we're in a circular way, like so all of us sit around. But no, you couldn't have that because you have all 40 and 50 students in a class. We sit around and he would be in the center. You know, really, it was quite interesting.
Very interesting. I guess we need. Well, I'm not in the school system, so I'm not certain what is happening. But
You're in the bigger school system, master. The school system of life. Every minute you're learning something.
Every minute we learn. So very true. So very true.
Our time is slipping by. Any advice you want to give to people out there? Other case that I mentioned it already about persons going to hospital. But the only time, don't have much time left. You need to tell us how we can contact you.
Okay, as I said before, just be vigilant with your children or who is under your roof.
Yes.
As long as you're as a guardian, right? Now, I can be contacted at 14 Caledonia Road. Telephone numbers include 7911090.
No, you're going too fast like you said, Bolt.
All right, let me repeat. I can be contacted at via the telephone numbers 589-0608, also 791-1090.
Thank you very much, Dr. Leland Johnson, the people's doctor there. I was going to say the cool hills of Mandeville, but it's getting pretty hot. Let's hope you don't have the fires that we're having in St. Andrew Hills. All the best, my friend, Dr. Leland Johnson. This is Spoton with Vernon. We're going to go for the break right now, so come back. Don't move.
Three Angels Pharmacy, the premier provider of quality pharmaceutical care, opens every day except Saturday. Located at shop number 7, 7B Caledonia Road, Mandeville, call 625-5584. The temperature by Three Angels Pharmacy is
30 degrees Celsius in New Kingston.
Wine a your tongue, you know wine a your tongue. Drive smart, no ramp. Wine a your tongue. If a 87 you fi use, put 87 in a your tongue. Fi know which fuel you use, vehicle manual fine. Enough car in a Jamaica make fi use 87. And a petrol refine. So use the octane for the car where you're driving. And me tell you some more. If a 87 your vehicle use, you are rev up the savings for sure. Know your tank fuel right, your pocket a go smile. Rev up the savings, savings on every mile. Brought to you by Petrojam, serving Jamaica's energy needs.
Tune in to German Morgan, aka Brother DJ Frisco, on your radio. Friday nights at 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. inside the Midnight Serenade Radio Show. And Saturdays and Sunday mornings inside the Kingdom Lifestyle Radio Show from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. You will be motivated, blessed, and receive a word in time with DJ Frisco in the mix. Tune in, and stay connected.
Do you want the keys to discovering your God-given purpose? Would you like a strategy to fulfill your unique destiny on earth? How about a map to help you navigate the twists and turns on your journey of life? Do you, don't you, will you, won't you? If I coax you, would you want to? Don't you want to? Aren't you going to? Oh, come on, you said you would. Hey, this is Everton Thomas, your friend, your bishop, from the Emmanuel Apostolic Church International with headquarters at 12 Slide Road in Kingston, Jamaica. And I'm inviting you to join me this and every Friday at 11 a.m. right here on this station for Insights, inspiring conversations for everyday life. That's Insights, Fridays at 11 a.m. God bless you now. Stay awesome.
They say this mountain can't be moved.
Have you ever thought about how much of your time you give to God? Whether it is 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes, God delights in the moments you share with Him. Join Prophet Dexon Burton for 30 minutes of prophetic glory, Thursdays at 11:30 on this station, as he takes you on a prophetic journey of signs, wonders, and miracles, breaking bread, administering healing, breakthrough, and deliverance. God speaks and His mind is revealed through His servant.
That there is no way through.
Welcome back. You're listening to Spoton, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica, in the middle of the Caribbean Sea, where we say we're little, but we tallow. So it's great to have you. And of course, coming up right now is Consumer Talk, which is sponsored by the National Solid Waste Management Authority. Jamaica's beauty is our duty. And of course, Mr. Trevor Sanders is here. What's up, my brother?
So I am here this morning.
And the word is our old time word. I saw.
You hear that? You can't judge my age by that, you know.
Boy, it's good to be in touch with old time something. I just love it.
Of course. I'm sure you know that this time of the year, you don't drink coffee, tea in the morning time because it's mango time.
I would say coffee, we say coffee.
Coffee, tea. The mango time, and you wash your pot.
Coffee, me coffee.
All right, and you wash your pot and turn it
Boil a
up.
cup of coffee
Yeah,
in
but
the
the breadfruit, I
morning.
don't see the breadfruit going with it. What happened to breadfruit?
I wonder what
I
if
don't
it
know what's
migrate.
going on. I don't know.
It became a resident of Jamaica many years ago.
Yes, the
so
trees are here, but I don't know what they're doing, so.
I wonder if the drought kind of
I
taking
don't
its
know,
toll.
but well, breadfruit, is a seaside plant, really,
Yes,
low
yes.
plant, yes. And I'm going to spend most of the time probably on water this morning.
Oh, Lord.
Because there's a shortage of it right now. And because of the drought, some people up in the St. Andrew Hills, I was watching the news last night, and believe it or not, they really, really took a battering from bushfires.
Yeah, man, it's pretty bad.
Pretty bad up there, and boy, I really hope they will recover from it soon, because a lot of them have lost their livelihood for the rest of the year.
Yeah, man.
Coffee is gone,
And
bananas are gone.
And the fire service
house especially.
can't manage it.
The fire service can't get up there.
Can't get to some of those roads.
Those roads. No, they are not really made for fire service, fire truck. So therefore, I do hope that those people will recover, because it means that some of the vegetables, some of the bananas, and so forth will be short, and their coffee crop. Some of them depend upon that, So
I look by Westphalia there.
Great, yeah, that part of the world, and but most of all, the house. Some of them have lost their houses, and
Yeah,
it's really bad. I don't know. There's a lady just on the news. I do hope that she has rested and will find ways and means of recover, because she has lost everything up there. Everything. And speaking about, as we go along with water, the water that is supplied by the trucks is very expensive, and we have been encouraging people from long ago to see if we can save some for yourself, invest in one of those black drums or one of the bigger ones, and see if we can even cut back on some of the time that we'll have to buy water. But one of the things that I want the merchant, what you call it, trade to do, is to import and sell on the market water-saving toilets. Because you have some toilets that use a lot more than others.
No, we've been talking about that.
Yes.
Yes.
They have some that use a lot more water than others.
Yes.
And what we should have been doing, is to encourage the use of those water-saving toilets. Because some of them use really a lot of water to do the same, and some of them use, it depends on where they come from, even if you have to pay a little more for them. But it would help, and it would help in the water bills, monthly water bills, as well as saving the amount of water that we have in the storage system. So therefore, we would encourage the government, or whoever it is, to encourage the merchants to go more for the water-saving brands than those that use a lot of water. We don't have that a lot of water anymore to waste, and those things. And the consumers now who have to buy from, especially the water trucks, I would advise you to boil your water before you use it, before you drink it. And it is, maybe you spend a little bit more on
I'll
it.
tell you something, while the boiling might get rid of any bacteria, if there anything else in there, dog them is upper. Unless you put it through a purification process.
Yes, well, let's hope that that it is safe enough and we don't have that sort of thing. But the bacteria inside it, if you boil it, it will probably save you a couple of trips to the doctor, especially because diarrhea is not a nice thing to have, I can tell you.
What you worried about the doctor? Are you alive?
Your life, So therefore, we advise, just, easy. You can be pot and boil some over, before you go to bed. Cool it off this morning and you store it in your bottle it and store it in your fridge.
And you can also use the bleach, that the industrial one use at home.
But I
but you have to watch the
amount, the amount
very
to be careful. So therefore, boiling is the safest option. Costs you a little bit of gas, but it saves you that medical bill in the long run. And even if it comes through the pipe, I know the National Water Commission supplies very good water, one of the best in the world, as a matter of fact.
Diamond has one some prices.
Yes, but at the same time, bacteria and whatever those little organisms there will get through into them. So therefore, if you boil it, it will probably save you, and you save money from going into the doctor's office too often. So therefore, I would advise you to boil it and get a fine strainer in the morning, or a piece of clean calico, and strain it and bottle it. It will probably be good for you in the long run. And those who in water sports, we've been having a couple of drownings these days, especially during the holidays, because more people now going to the beach and all because of the
heat. It gets hot and
heat. Yes. So be careful when you get there. If there's no lifeguard on the beach and nobody is there to help you in case of emergency, don't go in the water. Or if you go in the water, just wet your foot. Nobody go where you can manage.
No, sir, my foot now wet.
You're not going in there?
No, sir.
No, man, it's good.
Because anything can happen to you, when there's nobody there.
Yes.
You can have a stroke.
Anything can
happen.
Anything can happen. So therefore, if you're going into the water, make sure you don't go alone. Don't go swimming alone.
I have a cousin, he said, in can't swim, it is very bad. So he said, if you want him to turn fish in a game.
Game fin and gill. And they say you never see a shark in halfway through taking bus. that is not his lines at all.
Yes,
he's a waterman, and you go in there, you can, that's his territory. You can't fight him in there.
You can't.
You can't win that roar.
Oh,
yes.
And time is going. But another minute and contact for the consumer.
So therefore, young people especially, the home economists and these people, why don't you come and join the Consumers League? We need your help inside here. And all you have to do is to call us at 9266388 and leave your particulars there, and we'll get in touch with you.
Give it slowly.
9266 And all those people who are in the food lines, servers of food and importers of food and all that, the home economists especially, they used to be very, very vibrant in the Consumers League at one time. What has happened to you these days? We need you to come back and, help us out in the Consumers League. It's good for all of us.
Well, why come to you when we can't come on social media and cuss and cuss? Thank you very much, Mr. Trevor Summers. All the best. And there you have it for Consumer Talk. And that's it for Consumer Talk. And of course, Consumer Talk was sponsored by the National Solid Waste Management Authority. Jamaica's beauty is our duty. All right, let me take it's time to take a look, at the weather. Let's see what's happening. Well, one, we know it's pretty warm, yes. So it says a trough across Jamaica. The trough is expected to remain across the Central Caribbean over the next few days. 24-hour forecast this morning, partly cloudy across northeastern parishes. This afternoon and evening, isolated showers across sections northeastern and the southern parishes. Tonight, mainly fair. Of course, let's take a look at those persons who are celebrating their birthday. We have Mrs. Deborah Chen, the heart lady there. Miss Deborah, how you doing? Great hearing from you last night. Michael Spence, one of my great supporters. Michael, you have a wonderful day. Two of my great supporters celebrating their birthday today. We have also Professor Vernon Shepherd, who travel and play like of drive boat car. She's all over the place, but she's a big international figure, lecturing all over the world, part of the UN, doing a fantastic job. So, Professor Vernon Shepherd, you have a wonderful day. And of course, to the family and friends of Ricardo Fairclough, that policeman who lost his life last night, be strong. Not only be strong, let's stand up against the criminals. Mr. Height, technical operator, thank you very much. Where's Pastor Boyd? I don't see her. Hey, Pastor. Thank you very much to all my guests who came on today, to all the staff of the station. Thank you very much for your support. Remember this. Leadership, don't listen to others, will eventually be surrounded by people who have nothing to say. Vernon Darby saying to you, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Walk good, my friend.
This is KLAS FM, the station where you get God and sports. We broadcast on the 89 frequencies on your FM band and online at OmegaKLAS.com. Please